Film starts with an old woman who goes to check on her bird, which is watching her. She doesn't find any food in its cage, so she leaves it to get some food and comes back. But when she returns with the food, she doesn't find her bird and sees that her husband is holding it, having killed it. It's clear that the old woman's husband is either sick or not in his right mind, and something is not right, but she doesn't pay attention to him at the moment. Then we move to Javi and his daughter Tata, who are sitting in a car on the street, talking to each other. From their conversation we learn that Iris, Tata's mother and Javi's wife, is living with a friend in the area. Currently, Javi is supposed to take his daughter Tata to her. Currently, Tata is trying to persuade Javi to let her stay with him because her mother Iris doesn't like her at all. But Javi tells her that she's wrong, and when she goes to live with her mother for a while, she'll realize he's right. After that, Javi takes Tata to her mother Iris, who then asks Javi to take Tata with him and leave because she's going to work and doesn't have time for the girl. But Javi refuses this, so Iris decides to take her to work with her. Of course, Tata overhears all of this and is upset because her mother doesn't want her. Anyway, after a while, Iris takes her daughter Tata so they can go to work together. As they are leaving the building, Tata suddenly sees a strange-looking person standing in front of her. Then he quickly fled the place as if he was running away from someone. Of course, Tata doesn't understand anything, but Iris comes afterward, takes her, and they leave to go to work. While on their way to work, they find a car parked on the side of the road, open and unattended. Iris is curious and asks a security guard named David, who works near her workplace, about the car. David tells her that he doesn't know who it belongs to and is surprised that it's there like that. Iris doesn't pay much attention and takes her daughter Tata to work. Iris works in a complex that includes a playground, swimming pool and gym. Tata says it's like working in a club, and Iris's actual job is to guard the club at night. Afterward, Iris and Tata wander around the place, with Tata exploring and looking at the area piece by piece. Then, Iris takes Tata to the playground in the area and asks her to play there for a while, to ensure everything is safe. Before leaving, Iris sets up a wire device so she can communicate with Tata if needed. Iris then leaves Tata to play and goes to the camera monitoring room to watch over the entire place. When she finishes, she leaves to go to Tata. But suddenly, she finds that the lights have gone out in the place, so she goes to the generator to turn it on. And indeed, she manages to turn it on. At that moment, she talks to Tata to check on her. During this time, Tata talks to Iris about her brother Nico. We learn that he died when he was a child, my friend. It becomes clear that Iris is somehow involved in his death. She is affected by what Tata says now, and she continues the conversation with her on the subject. After that, Iris plans to go to Tata. But when she does, she suddenly sees two people fighting each other, hitting each other madly, as if they are not in their right minds. She sees this and calls the police, but the police do not respond. Iris starts to feel that something is wrong. She calls out to David and asks the two who are fighting why they are being so violent. David tells her that they are probably addicts and not in their right minds. He tells her to defend herself in the club, and she will be safe. So Iris actually stops and starts locking all the doors with the key. After that, she goes to the field to get her daughter, Tata. But she doesn't find Tata on the field at all. And while she's thinking about anything, she suddenly sees a person jumping into the field. This person looks strange, drenched in blood, not speaking, just screaming, as if he's a zombie. And we now learn, by the way, that this man is infected, and that's what's making him look like this and behave aggressively. And here we reveal more about this tribe, by the way. It's important to note that the infected man starts running towards Alice to kill her, but Alice trips him, causing him to fall to the ground. At that moment, Alice intends to go to David for help, but she finds that David has been killed by another infected person. Alice is shocked by all of this. It's important to note that Alice quickly grabs a weapon and returns to the camera room. And there, she sees Tata hiding in a room, and the room advantageously has a landline phone. Iris calls Tata from the landline phone in the surveillance room. Tata answers and tells Iris some scary people have entered the compound. She ran away from them and hid here alone. Iris asks Tata to lock herself in well and not to open the door for anyone. Iris is about to reach her daughter, but at that moment she realizes there is an infected person coming towards her. Quickly, so she hides under a desk. The infected person does not see her. But the infected person sees a cat and gets distracted, brutally attacking it. Of course, Iris is shocked by all of this but remains silent. The infected person moves away from Iris, so she comes out of her hiding spot to go to her daughter. However, before doing so, she hides again and watches a marketing video on her phone. Iris now sees in the recording that the infected person who was hitting the cat earlier continues to hit it repeatedly in a frenzy. Suddenly, after this frenzy, he stands still in place. He remains like a statue for exactly 32 seconds. And here we know that all the infected, after finishing their bout of frenzy and violence, freeze for 32 seconds and then return to their frenzied state, and so on. Keep this in mind, my friend, as it will be very important later. Then Iris starts moving around the place to reach her daughter, and as she moves here and there, she arrives at the swimming pool. Suddenly, an infected person comes and lunges at her, and now he exits and stands by the swimming pool. But then someone comes and pushes the infected person away from Iris, saving her and getting her out of the swimming pool. This person introduces himself to Iris as Louis. Louis explains that a pandemic has spread across the world, turning people into something akin to zombies, like the ones they just saw. He also tells her that his wife was pregnant and he was taking her to the hospital, but they were attacked by the infected. He had to bring his wife and hide here with her. Currently, Louis is asking Iris to come with him to help deliver his wife. But the people refuse because she wants to look for her daughter. So Louis knows that he will help her look for Tata only when she helps him first. So Iris is forced to agree against her will. Then Louis takes Iris to a room where his wife, Mimi, is. When Iris arrives at Mimi, she finds her sitting in a wheelchair tied up and realizes that Mimi is actually infected with the epidemic and is currently almost like a zombie in a very bad state. At this moment, Iris is terrified and realizes that Louis is crazy and that his wife is infected and he just can't accept it. So she tells him that she will not help him, to let his wife go. Louis realizes that he knows exactly where her daughter is hiding, and if she helps him, he will tell her the location. But if she refuses, he won't tell her anything, which angers Iris. She grabs a knife to confront Louis, but Louis hits her and starts to strangle her, telling her that he doesn't want to kill her and just wants her to help him. Iris agrees to help him, albeit reluctantly. Louis then takes Iris and Mimi to the room with the medical supplies to deliver Mimi's baby, and while they were there, they pass by an empty swimming pool. But it's completely empty and has no water. Alice finds someone lying in the pool, injured and dying. Upon closer inspection, Alice discovers that this person is Javi, her husband, and Tata's father. Alice goes crazy and immediately rushes to see Javi, who tells her that when he learned about the outbreak, he came to save her and Tata, but he got injured and is now dying. Javi talks to Alice. From their conversation, we learn, my friend, that their son Nico died in the past because Alice was distracted while he was in the pool. Therefore, this wasn't intentional, and she can't remain sad forever and reject her other daughter because of a mistake she made in the past. Javi finishes his words and dies in a very sad scene, leaving Iris crying over him, deeply affected. After that, Luis goes down to Iris in the swimming pool to take her and leave, but as they do so, they find that infected people are coming in from everywhere and are about to reach them. Iris thinks for a moment, and in the end she makes a decision and she activates it, creating a smokescreen around her and Luis so that the infected can't see them. Unfortunately, the infected attack Luis and separate him from Iris. As for Iris, one of the infected also attacks her, but she manages to get away from him, exits the swimming pool, and hides in a spot. At this moment, she notices that one of the infected is approaching Mina and is about to kill her. So she screams at her, hoping she won't do it. He arrives just in time and kills the infected woman. He takes both of them, Mimi, and they head to the first aid room. And there, she begins to deliver her. After a long struggle, she successfully delivers Mimi and brings the baby out. At this moment, Mimi calms down a bit. Louis thought she calmed down because she saw her baby and they were about to show him to her. But at that moment, Iris understood that she would only be calm for 32 seconds before going crazy again. She kept asking Louis to take the baby from her hands, but Louis didn't do it. Suddenly the lights went out and Mimi and the baby disappeared in front of Iris and Louis, so they went out searching for them everywhere, my friend. Then they find her trying to kill the baby, and Louis shoots her to finish her off. He takes the baby and holds him. At that moment, Iris realizes that her daughter is in the boiler room. She thanks Louis and leaves him to go see her daughter, while Louis stays in place holding the baby. She eventually reaches the boiler room, and at that moment, she finds a child being burned by one of the boilers. She is shocked and realizes it's her daughter. She feels like she's lost her daughter, just like Zineko, and that she is also the reason for her death. So, she takes out her gun and decides to end her own life. But just as she's about to do it, she suddenly hears a sound coming from the other room. So she goes to check that room and finds her daughter Tata there. She is extremely happy and realizes that there was a father and his daughter who had taken refuge with her in the boiler room. Unfortunately, the infected reached them, killed the father, and burned the daughter. But Tata managed to hide. Tata is shocked by the scene she just witnessed, so Iris tries to comfort and calm her down. After that, the two of them decide to leave the place entirely. Iris decides that they will find a car, drive to the port, take a boat from there, and head to the sea, where they will be 100% safe. But the problem is that as they are leaving, they find the corridor in front of them full of infected people. This is when Iris comes up with a brilliant idea. They wait for the infected to calm down during the period we mentioned earlier, the 232-year period. Indeed, they wait for a while, and when this period comes, they suddenly find all the infected standing still in their places. They manage to walk among them without the infected being able to do anything to them. They pass through the corridor and then get close to the complex, exiting to the street to find a car, but they don't find any to ride. So they go back down to some corridors beneath the complex, and in these corridors, They find his son in front of them, and unfortunately, they are also infected. They know they are going to die, but they don't even try to make it harder for them. Suddenly, they find one of the infected in front of them, and this infected person attacks Iris and is about to kill her, but Data comes and kills him. Finally, everyone is safe, so they decide to leave the compound and head to the sea to stay safe, as we mentioned. At this point, the movie ends, and we know that Iris and Data have escaped and will be safe after everything they've been through and the horrors they've witnessed. But will they live and get through this crisis? God knows, because unfortunately, our movie ends here. That's it.